Hi, it's Sylvester, and I am making another life update video. I feel like my life update videos are usually quite boring, and I like it that way. My life updates are boring because my life is boring, and I like having a boring life. I get very easily overwhelmed, I get very easily overstimulated, I get very anxious when I have a lot on my plate, so I really like having a boring life. I really like when there's not a lot going on. There is nothing better in my mind than having nothing to do. It is truly a blessing to have nothing to do. I am at a point in my life where I crave calm, I crave stability, I crave peace, I crave quiet, I crave boringness. Like, it's vastly underrated. Living a boring life is vastly underrated. I would much rather be bored out of my mind than be overwhelmed with things going on. And I know that that's not how a lot of other people feel. I know a lot of people feel, because we live in a society that this has nothing. I'm going on a tangent here. I said this was a life update video, and it is a life update video, but small tangent. We do live in a society that praises productiveness over personal well-being, and I feel like a lot of people feel like they are worthless if they are not constantly being productive. They feel like they are worthless if they are not constantly contributing something to society. And often, like, sometimes I do feel like I am worthless because I don't contribute enough to society. Sometimes I do get in that mindset where I feel like I am a waste of a human being because I'm not productive enough, because I don't add value to the world. And I realize that that's not true. I do add value. I'm a valuable human being, and me existing adds value to the world because I am a valuable human being. And my value doesn't come from how productive I am and how much stuff I get done and by how much I contribute to the workforce or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? Anyways, like I said, this is a life update video, and there's really not that much going on. I had a PTSD flare-up recently that is more or less under control. I had a bit of a PTSD, I guess, episode, you might call it, earlier this morning. I was having some flashbacks, but nothing too extreme. I've been doing okay in terms of my mental health. Like, I've been doing okay. I've been stressed out. I've been quite anxious about a lot of things, but not anywhere near as anxious as I was last year. Last year, my anxiety was off the charts, so I'm very thankful that my anxiety is more or less under control. I don't feel like I'm super depressed at the moment, which is really good. Like I said, the PTSD is acting up a little bit, but it's more or less under control. So I've been doing okay, but I am stressed out about money, about the future, about various medical stuff that's going on. I talk on my second channel about some medical stuff that's been going on in my life. Basically, I have an ultrasound coming up because I was having some bowel issues, and I'm not concerned about the ultrasound. I don't think that there's anything wrong with me. I think I was just maybe not overreacting, but I think that I'm probably fine. Like, the ultrasound isn't an emergency ultrasound. It's not like I don't think it's life or death or anything like that. So it's just to check to make sure there's nothing going on in my intestines that we need to be worried about. And I've got these white spots on the inside of my mouth that they don't hurt, so they're not cankers, they're not mouth ulcers, because again, they don't hurt. And I googled white spots on the inside of a mouth, I Googled what that could mean, and of course, Google said potentially cancer. So, I'm hoping it's not mouth cancer, but I do have an appointment scheduled to see my doctor about the white spots in my mouth. So that's stressing me out because I don't like having things that need to get done. I get very easily overwhelmed, and I love when my life is boring and things are a little too uh there's too much going on in terms of my medical stuff that's going on right now, and it doesn't sound like there's that much going on with me, and frankly it's not really that much, but it's enough to stress me out because I don't like having to go to the doctor. I feel like ever since getting a family doctor, I've seen him for about a million different issues, and 9 times out of 10, I go see him for something, and it turns out to not be a big deal at all, and I'm just kind of overreacting because I do have a little bit of health anxiety where, I mean, you probably wouldn't guess that I have health anxiety because I do smoke cigarettes, which, you don't think that somebody who smokes cigarettes would be concerned about their health, but I do have some health anxiety, and whenever there's anything even like kind of wrong with my body, I immediately book an appointment with my doctor because I'm like, what is this? It might be something big. Most of the time, it's not anything to be concerned about. But yeah, so that's pretty much all that's been going on. I guess this video is pretty pointless because yeah, I just, there's not a whole lot going on, just kind of some medical stuff, and again, I like it that way. I like not much to be going on in my life. I've repeated myself a lot in this video, so I think I should probably go. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Stay frosty. Bye.